Aloha, my name is Philip Johnson. I'm a professor of computer science at the University of Hawaii and the designer of the Morea Framework. My best answer to why you might want to try Morea is to tell you why I actually designed it. And I designed it because of problems I found with existing frameworks. I've been teaching computer science for over 20 years, and all the frameworks that I've used in the past were lacking in one way or another. For example, here's the learning management system at my university. And one of the problems that I had with it is it implements kind of a walled garden. So it's hard to get information, course content in and out of the site and publicize it. The other thing is that the user experience, both for students and professors, is kind of old-fashioned. So I've tried other things. I've tried Google Sites. For the past several years, I've been using WordPress. WordPress provides a pretty good user experience for the students, not so much for professors. It's hard to reuse content, hard to change content, both of these kind of related to the fact that all the content is stored in a back-end database. So one of the reasons why I designed Marea is to essentially overcome these problems that I was finding with other frameworks. But as I did it, I realized that I could do something more interesting, which is to better represent the intent of a course. And this is not only, I think, useful for students trying to learn the material, but it's also great for professors because it enables you to sometimes detect problems in the structure of your class that you might not have been aware of. So the structure that I came up with it has these five components or representational entities. And in order to use Marea, it's very important to realize it's not a black box. Really, you're going to be using 4 or 5 underlying technologies that are federated together in a particular way. The first technology is GitHub. This solves really most of the problem with Marea. It provides Git, which enables you to manipulate course content the same way you're used to manipulating source code. So you get to fork, clone, merge, branch, issue pull requests on course content, which is really, really nice. You can also host your course content at GitHub, and then it provides a publication mechanism through its Pages facility, which enables you to publish your site directly at GitHub. Now, it'd be a drag to have to actually write your course content in HTML, and so I use Jekyll in order to enable you to write your content in Markdown and then have it be compiled into HTML. And we add Bootstrap in there so that the HTML that's produced is modern and responsive and looks good. There's also a technology called Bootswatch for providing themes, and we use that. So Morea sites, the Morea framework comes out of the box with a half dozen themes you can use, or you can roll your own if you'd like to. Finally, I wrote a tiny little Ruby plugin for Jekyll that enables Marea to manipulate modules, outcomes, readings, experiences, and assessments as first-class entities. And that enables the site to have some kind of nice features. So let's take a look at one of them. Oops. This is a site, and you can see this is the modules page, which organizes the content by modules. And because all of these entities are kind of first class within the system, I can also create pages that organize the content via the outcomes, via readings, experiences, and assessments. But first, let's look at one of the particular modules. And you can see that a module is composed of a specific set of learning outcomes, a set of readings, a set of experiences or homework assignments, and assessments that you've made. And because things are first-class entities, they are connected together in various ways. So if we go to the outcomes page, you can see that when I list an outcome, we can also list the modules that refer to that outcome and the assessments that presumably tested the acquisition of that particular outcome. And for these early outcomes, there's only really one module and one assessment, but you can see later on that here's an outcome which was referred to by multiple modules and assessed many times. Here's another example of that outcome. And this starts to reveal some of the interesting things that happen to you as a professor when you're designing classes using Marea. The first is that it reveals course smells. In the Agile programming community, we talk about code smells as code that just doesn't look right and potentially indicates a problem. Marea kind of does the same thing. There's set of things that where you see it and you go, well, that's probably not right. I could probably improve the class in some way. In addition, it reveals thematic elements. As I showed you, there were learning outcomes that were referred to in many places. And this is in a sense a cross-cutting concern for the class. Now, a reason you might not want to use Marea is if you're not comfortable with all of these underlying technologies that it uses. I'm showing you a list of the major ones here. And the people that have tried Marea and had problems, it was typically around the technologies that they had to use, and they weren't comfortable with learning all these different things. So in conclusion, you might want to try Marea if you share my frustrations with existing learning management systems, or you want to simply better represent the intent of your classes, and finally, if the technology isn't scary to you. Thanks a lot.